Hello, my dear students. We discussed the diseases that are caused by different pathogens such as bacteria, virus, and protozoa. Now, we are discussing about the diseases caused by helminths, that is worms. The parasitic forms of helminths. Helminths, that is worms. The parasitic forms of helminths are endoparasite. Endoparasite. Endoparasites. What is the meaning of endoparasite? Endoparasite means the parasites which lives and take food from the or nutrients from the other organism. This endoparasite means the parasite which is living inside the body of other organism. That is the meaning of endo. Endo means inside. Parasite means, what is the meaning of parasite? Parasite take food from other organism for their survival. Okay, so endo means inside. Inside the body of other organism, they are living and take food materials from the body of that organism. So that is endoparasite. Endoparasite which leaves the body of inside the body of other organism and take nourishment from their body. That is endoparasite. So these worms mainly live inside the body of other organism including human being. Okay, so that is endoparasite. So this endoparasites lives in the blood and gut alimentary canal of other organism, and collectively we can call this diseases as helminthiasis. Helminthiasis. Okay, there are two main diseases, ascariasis and filariasis. So these two diseases are coming under the category diseases caused by helminths. So collectively these diseases we can call as helminthiasis. So where we can see the endoparasite in the gut, that's in the alimentary canal, and the blood of other organism. Okay, inside human being, inside the body of human being also we can see these helminths, that is worms. So we can discuss the diseases. First one is ascariasis. Ascariasis. Ascariasis is caused by roundworms known as Ascaris lumbricoides. This is the causative organism of ascariasis. Ascariasis is a disease caused by Ascaris lumbricoides. It is also known as roundworm. And how this Ascaris infect humans? Those who are eating and drinking contaminated food and water. Along with that contaminated food and water, these Ascaris lumbricoids eggs are enter into our body because along with the feces of infected person. So these eggs are deposited in the soil. Those who are drinking contaminated water and those who are eating contaminated food, contaminated means impure food, these eggs will enter into the body of that person and that person will affect this ascariasis. Here you can see the picture of Ascaris lumbricoids. This Ascaris lumbricoids will infect the small intestine of the human being. So these Ascaris attach to the small intestine of the human being, and we know that absorption and digestion in our small intestine. So this Ascaris will attach to the small intestine of human being and they are taking the nutrients from the small intestine. They can simply take the nutrients from our body. Here you can see the picture of Ascaris that is attached to the inner portion of our small intestine. So that is Ascaris. This Ascaris causes ascariasis, Ascaris lumbricoids. It is a roundworm. And what are the symptoms of this disease? It will cause severe abdominal pain. vomiting, headache and dizziness. So these are the main symptoms of this disease, ascariasis. So ascariasis is caused by this causative organism's name you have to study. It is also known as roundworm because its body is almost round shape and it is roundworm and it causes ascariasis. Those who are drinking impure water, that's contaminated water, and those who are eating contaminated food, there's a chance to get that person have a chance to get this disease, ascariasis. So personal hygiene is important one. Then next disease is known as filariasis. Second disease is known as filariasis. Filariasis is also known as elephantiasis. Why elephant like elephant? What is elephantiasis? The person is affected with the filariasis, that person's leg will be like an elephant, that much swollen, big legs. That person will have that much swollen, big legs. That's why this filariasis disease is also known as elephantiasis, that's elephant-like legs. Its causative organism is Wuchereria, a worm known as Wuchereria. In the picture you can see the person affected with elephantiasis or filariasis. So this filariasis is caused by a worm known as Wuchereria. You can see the picture of Wuchereria and that lead to the disease known as filariasis, that is elephant-like legs. And what are the symptoms? This itself, the elephant-like legs, swollen legs is the symptom of elephantiasis. Since there is no vaccine or cure for this filariasis. This filariasis is spread by Culex female mosquitoes. Culex female mosquitoes. Here you can see the picture of Culex mosquito. When this Culex mosquito bite an infected person, the microscopic worms that is circulating through the blood of that infected person. So while this Culex mosquito bite an infected person, that microscopic worm will enter into the body of that mosquito. If that same mosquito bite a healthy person, that mosquito will inject that microscopic worms into the body of an healthy person. So that person will get the filariasis disease. So that is the way of spreading the disease, not through the food and water. This filariasis is spread by mosquito bite. That mosquito, that is known as female Culex mosquito, spread this filariasis or elephantiasis. Its symptom is swollen legs. This spread by Culex mosquito. Culex mosquito. So these are the two diseases that is coming under the diseases caused by helminths or worms. These diseases together known as helminthiasis. Next we can discuss about diseases caused by fungi. Fungi is also a pathogen. Fungus may infect skin, mouth, lungs or sex organs of human beings and it causes a variety of disease. Ringworm, Aspergillosis, Candidiasis are the common fungal diseases of human being. And here you want to study only one disease, that is ringworm. Ringworm disease is caused by fungus. This fungus infects the outer layer of our skin. In this picture, you can see a person that is affected with a ringworm. And here you can see a ring-like structure that is little bit swollen and it is a scaly skin and also it is itchy, and the pustules or swollen surface you can see that is almost a ring-like structure. It is highly itchy and irritating one, and it can spread from one part of the body into another part. That is ringworm disease, because it's like a ring. It will appear as a ring structure. That is why it is known as ringworm disease, and it is a fungal infection. It affects the outer part of our skin, outer layer of our skin, and it may spread from one person to another through direct contact or by using the same cloth. It can spread from one person to another person, and its symptoms are highly itchy and irritating skin and a slightly swollen skin with a ring-like structure. So these are the main symptoms of this disease. This ringworm disease is medically known as tinea. And this disease can spread from one person to another. Next, we can discuss about how these diseases are transmitting from one person to another. How these infectious diseases are spreading from one person to another. How these diseases are spreading. Transmission through air. First one is transmission through air. Second one, transmission through contaminated food and water. Then transmission through insects. Then last one, transmission through contact. So these are the different ways of transmitting infectious diseases from one person to another. First one is transmission through air. Mainly this bacterial diseases and viral disease. While an infected person, that person is sneezing and coughing, the droplets from the mouth and nose that will spread into the atmosphere. That droplet will consist of millions of bacteria and viruses. And if a healthy person come in contact with that droplet, if that person inhale that atmospheric air with that droplet, that person will get, the healthy person will get that disease. That's why nowadays we are using mask always, because if any person is infected with the COVID-19, if that person is sneezing and coughing, that droplet will enter into the atmosphere. If that healthy person come in contact with the droplet, that person will get the disease. That is the importance of mask nowadays. Then next one, transmission through contaminated food and water. So always we have to maintain personal hygiene, and we have to drink pure water and good food. Okay, if that food is contaminated, if we will get different types of diseases such as typhoid, cholera, because this foodborne disease or waterborne disease we will get. So we have to drink good water, that is pure water, and we have to eat good food. So then we can avoid a number of diseases. Okay, the next one is transmission through insects. Several insects like mosquitoes, flies, cockroach. These are the vectors of diseases. Vectors means they are carrying the disease causing agents from a dirty place or from one place to the human being, mainly to the food material or to the blood of the human being. These mosquitoes are vectors of different diseases. Example, mosquitoes spread malaria. Mosquitoes spread filariasis. So different diseases are spread by then chikungunya, dengue fever. So these diseases are spread by mosquitoes. Then cockroach also a vector of different types of disease. Then house flies, that's the importance of keeping the food closed, because these flies come in contact to the food material. If they soil their legs in our food material, these flies mainly they are living in the waste dumping place. So that is a source of many pathogens. So they will transmit that pathogen from the waste dumping place into the food material. If we are not closing our food material properly, the flies will soil their legs in the food material and we will get different types of diseases. So next one, transmission through contact. By using the materials used by the infected person, a healthy person will get the diseases. Example, chickenpox and smallpox easily transmitted from one person to another through contact. Okay, if we are touching the person, we will get the diseases, mainly viral diseases or bacterial disease we will easily get through contact. So these are the different way of transmission of diseases, that is infectious diseases, transmission of infectious diseases from one person to another. Okay, next one, how we can prevent these type of diseases. How we can prevent these type of diseases? By keeping our body clean. And here is the importance of personal and public hygiene. We have to keep our body clean, and our surrounding also we have to make it clean. And through the proper disposal of waste material, we can prevent the breeding of these different types of vectors, and removing the stagnant water from our nearby area, we can control the number of mosquitoes. And disinfection of water reservoirs, example our well and pond, those who are depending on the pond for water, so they have to disinfect the water. Then by eating good food and pure water, we can avoid a number of diseases. These are the preventive measures of diseases. So my dear students, personal hygiene and public hygiene both are important one. If you are having only personal hygiene, the diseases caused because of the absence of public hygiene we will get. Okay, if our dirty water is there in our nearby area, that dirty water will become the breeding place of different types of mosquitoes. So that mosquito will cause different types of diseases. So my dear students, personal and public hygiene both are important one. So that is the importance of personal and public hygiene. So I hope this topic is clear. That's all for today. We can see in the next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.